Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Welcome to the huge audience of at least 10 or 20 people that I get watching these videos. Thanks for tuning in again. Real Madrid beat Getafe 1-0, and for a 1-0 game, there was a lot of talking points. 2 red cards. One of them, I'm 100% sure, wasn't a red card for Getafe. Our best player of the season so far, Guler, coming off the bench and making a difference yet again. Is it too much too soon for Franco Mastantuono? I don't know. Let's get into it though. But before I do, I recently moved from Santiago in Chile to Mendoza in Argentina. And I'm just going to kind of put some footage of the journey because it was a beautiful bus journey that I took. And I thought, yeah, as I talk about the game, I'll play some beautiful clips from the journey. So enjoy this and let's get into the game. So if we go back to the start of the game then, and the starting lineup, I'll put it on the screen here. We played a 4-2-3-1 with Tchouaméni and Camavinga in the 2 double pivot roles, let's say. And I want to touch on Camavinga to start with here because I was a big fan of him when we signed him. I think he was 18 when he joined us. But I'm starting to get worried about him. I'm well aware that he's been injured for quite a while. He didn't have a pre-season, so it's going to take a few months before we see the best of him. But when he first joined Real Madrid, he was playing alongside Kroos and Modric, and he could do something those two couldn't do. He offered athleticism, he could tackle. He's still one of the best slide tacklers that I've seen. He's probably the best slide tackler in this team still. But in this team, I find his role a little bit redundant, especially in a game against Getafe. It was too much athleticism and not enough creativity in that midfield, I think. When he plays alongside Tchouaméni and you throw Bellingham in there, there's no one to really make those cute passes and dictate play. And I think he's great at breaking up the play, but he just doesn't offer much offensively. And I'm getting a bit worried about. He still might be the best left back that we got in the team. Maybe that's where his future is going to be at left back. But I just don't see a role for him starting in this team at the moment. But let's see. We also had another start for young Franco, and I'm starting to get a bit worried about this as well, I've got to say. I was a big fan of Xabi Alonso starting him in the first game of the season. I thought it was a great show of confidence in the kid. However, he is 18, and I do think a hierarchy in a football team is important. I'm starting to see him get a little bit frustrated. He was arguing with Alaba over a free kick. I do think players need to know their role and their seniority, let's say, in a team. And when you've got someone like Brahim Diaz on the bench, and I'm very, very aware Brahim's not had a great start of the season, but I do think it's ridiculous that he's not even in competition to start with Franco at the moment. And I'm just worried that we're giving him a bit too much too soon, because I also don't think it's good for a player. I mean, I know Lamine Yamal, for example, might be an exception to this, but generally speaking, it's much better to let a youngster grow within the team. That's what we've done with Guler. And look at Guler now; he's a superstar. I'm getting worried that we're giving him a bit too much too soon. I thought he had a good game. I like watching him play because he's always trying something. He doesn't just circulate possession very boringly. He didn't have a bad game at all, but I'm just getting a bit worried about him starting so much. But anyway, let's get into the first half then, and not too much to talk about here. Now, I sometimes make notes during the game, just so I've got something to talk about, but I've got nothing written down for the first half. I'm pretty sure I remember one chance Real Madrid created, which was an Alaba free kick. I think they had one shot, if I can remember. I know there was a VAR shout for a penalty for them. But yeah, it was such a boring first half. And it's to be expected in some ways. Getafe are notoriously known for being a very defensively solid team, not allowing many chances. And yeah, Madrid just struggled with that midfield. I thought it was a bit unnecessary. We didn't really have any creativity in that first half. The second half started off relatively the same, I would say. A bit of dreariness, let's say, if I want to use a fancy adjective. But then the changes were made. And boy, did those substitutes change the game. Vini and Guler came on. Both of them made a huge impact. But before I talk about them, I want to touch on Alvaro Carreras, because I sometimes check out forums and other Madrid channels just to see the general feeling of Madrid fans towards the players. And Carreras was getting quite a lot of heat in that first half, saying that the fans were saying, he's not an upgrade on Mendy, and, he's been overhyped and all of this nonsense, this reactionary comments that fans do. And I don't see it the same way at all. I've got to be honest. It's true he didn't have a great first half. He lost the ball quite a few times in possession. He also tried passes which didn't come off. But I don't see it the same way at all. First of all, I really like the fact that he's looking up and he's trying to play passes, even if they don't come off. He's not just recycling possession the way Mendy and Fran Garcia does. He's trying to create things. And in the second half, he hit some beautiful passes. He hit one to Franco, I believe, which was about 40 yards, 50 yards, crossfield pass. It was fantastic. And he also almost helped create one of our goals by nutmegging a defender and starting a counter-attack in that second half. So it's true, he didn't have a great game overall. I wouldn't say that, but he's 22. He's new to the team. He's gone from Benfica to Real Madrid. It's a huge jump. It took Marcelo years before he became the player he was. So I think fans need to really chill out and relax with him at the moment, because I just see only positives from Alvaro Carreras. Even when he's not playing well, he's still trying something, and he's got a great confidence in himself, which is what I like about him. But back to the substitutes then. And both Vini and Guler came on and changed the game, I would say. Vini more with his actions, let's say, than his football, because from pretty much as soon as he came on, he was getting in the ear of the Getafe players. He was having some arguments, and I don't know if it was their disdain for him or what, but they couldn't control it, and he managed to get two of their players sent off. I've got to say, the first red card on Neon, I hope I'm pronouncing the name right, I thought of the two, that one was more of a red card. I still thought it was soft, I've got to be honest. I don't think there was any violence in there. I thought Vinny made it look worse than it was. However, it was pretty reckless. He wasn't playing the ball. He clearly contacted Vinny. And I personally would have given it a yellow. I thought a straight red was a bit harsh. The second red, though, this was the one I really had sympathy with the Getafe fans and team for, because I thought, I don't even know if there was contact, and if there was, it was very minimal, and Vinny completely overreacted, trying to get the player sent off there. So, I can understand sometimes the hatred for Vinny, because he really does milk. I used to really hate Neymar. There was a lot of Barca players I hated, but Neymar was one of them for his play acting. And it's difficult for me sometimes to, obviously, because I don't like Barcelona, I'm always looking for the negatives in their players. But I want to try and always be as unbiased as I can. And if I wasn't a Real Madrid fan, I think I would be quite annoyed with some of Vinny's behaviour. So I want to call it out when I see it as well. I don't want to just defend him because he plays for Real Madrid. So, I thought it was definitely an unfair second red card. Guler was fantastic. I might make a video on the Guler-Mbappe connection, because, Jesus, it is like watching Ozil and Ronaldo again. I mean, what a pass for Mbappe's first goal. Fantastic from Guler. As soon as he came on, he started pinging the ball around. He has to start. I mean, he is what I said in the intro. He's our best player this season. It's probably Mbappe, I suppose, but he's definitely the second best player, because he's just on fire right now. Now, this wasn't where the drama ended. Getafe, even though they were down to 9 men, still almost got a goal right at the end of the game if it wasn't for Courtois making a great save. What the hell was that defending from Real Madrid? I cannot believe, down to 9 men with 2 minutes to go, we are that open at the back. I mean, Courtois came out shouting at some of the Real Madrid players, and completely right too as well, because that would have been awful had we conceded that goal. There's still huge question marks going into the toughest probably period of the calendar so far. We've got Juventus, Liverpool and Barcelona all coming up. This is going to be where perhaps our season is made or broken in the next few weeks, because we need to win at least 2 of those games, I would say. We've got to beat some of the big teams. Liverpool are not in great form right now. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to beat them. And I think we need a win over Barcelona. I really do. I think we need to stamp our authority on this league early to really show that, we're serious about this title, because but I can't say I'm that confident. I've got to say, there's very few games we're dominating. We're conceding chances. The defence still seems like it's missing something. The attack, likewise. I don't like the fact that Endrick and Gonzalo Garcia are seeing no minutes at the moment. I mean, Gonzalo came on for 5 minutes in this game. I don't think Vini, Mbappe, and whatever combination you want to put on the right side, Rodrigo, Franco, Brahim, really is the solution. I think Alonso's not quite decided on his midfield yet. There's still a lot of question marks about this team, but 3 points. I'm going to wrap it up here because I'm sure you guys already, I don't know if anyone makes it to the end of my videos. I would be bored listening to my voice for this long. So thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you on the next video.